Hello, and welcome to this tutorial for using the Purchasing Analyzer from IHS's Pricing and Purchasing Service. The Purchasing Analyzer is a tool that seeks to address the problem that many purchasing professionals face of not being able to properly negotiate contracts because they don't have enough insight into their supplier's cost structure. Without a quantitative understanding of how each material contributes to the overall cost, it is difficult to fight back when price increases are proposed. For this video, we will take the position of a purchasing professional looking to buy some bare printed circuit boards, or PCBs, as well as the plastic packaging in which they are shipped. This tutorial begins in Data Insight Web. For information on how to get to this point, please see our other video, Logging in and Downloading Data. The Purchasing Analyzer can be found at the top left corner of the window under Applications. The analyzer itself includes a wizard that will take you through the process of building a workbook, including the input cost breakdown. While the wizard is useful in honing in on exactly how you want the workbook to appear, it is important to note that the Purchasing Analyzer workbooks are extremely customizable, and any of these settings can be adjusted within the workbook itself. The first step of the wizard is to establish the dates and frequency of the workbook. The default is for 5 years of history and 5 years of forecast at an annual frequency. This meets my needs, so I'm going to leave the defaults and click Next. The Select Industries tab makes it easy to find the material for which you need an input cost breakdown. I know that a bare printed circuit board would be under electronic components, so I'm just going to expand that category to select it. Sure enough, the first result when I expand the category is bare PCB, so I just check that box. I also want to find information on the plastic packaging that my PCB is shipped in, but I'm not positive if that would be characterized under chemicals and allied materials or paper and packaging. Instead of checking both categories, I'm just going to use the keyword search at the top of the window. Now that I have both materials that I want, I can click Next. On the Next tab, you can select all the concepts you want in your workbook. The tool includes prices, input costs, productivity, demand, productivity adjusted input costs, and an input cost breakout. For further explanation on each concept, just hover over the question mark to the right. I want a complete look at both of the materials I selected, so I'm going to check all of the boxes and click Next. On the Statistics tab, you can add a percent change or percent change versus year earlier calculation to your workbook. I selected an annual frequency for my workbook, so these calculations would have the same result. So I'll just select percent change and click Next. We are now ready to see the results. The tool offers the ability to save your selections in a workbook, where they will automatically be updated with our latest forecasts, or, if you just want a quick look, you can download straight into Excel. I think this breakout will be useful well into the future, so I will save it as a workbook. Within the workbook, we can see a preview of the results, including each of the concepts we selected and the first part of the input cost breakdown. In order to see the rest of the breakdown, we need to click over to the next page. The tool shows all of the materials that make up the input cost breakdown, as well as their contribution to the overall cost. The tool allows the users to customize the weights. For example, if we know that our supplier produces plastic packaging in a more capital-intensive way than the industry average, we can raise the contribution from capital equipment by adjusting the weight and then clicking Refresh at the bottom of the screen. Also at the bottom of the window, we can click over to the input cost breakout for bare printed circuit boards. We see similar concepts listed, as well as the complete input cost breakdown. The tool does a nice job of displaying the data and making it easy to customize the weights, but many people are more comfortable working in Excel, so the Purchasing Analyzer allows a one-click export at the bottom of the screen. In Excel, we can take a deeper look at the data and start to understand what is happening in the two industries that we selected. Each of the concepts have been rebased to a common period for ease of comparison. The first concept, prices, is very straightforward. It is just a rebased version of the price forecast that exists within the rest of the pricing and purchasing service. The second concept, input cost, is a weighted average of the components of the detailed input cost breakout towards the bottom of the screen. The difference between input costs and prices provides an estimate of how profitability of the producer is changing and how it will change, providing a key negotiating point for buyers. The third concept, productivity adjusted input costs, allows for the fact that over time, as manufacturing gets more and more efficient, the impact of input costs will lessen. The idea is that a more efficient workforce blunts some of the impact of input cost increases. The fourth concept, productivity, offers the figures used in the previous measure by breaking out labor productivity as a separate concept. The fifth concept, demand, completes the picture by giving a sense of what the demand picture is for the industry. To the right are the values for each of these concepts, both history and forecast, as well as the percent change statistic that we selected earlier. Below is the full input cost breakout. It is organized into three categories: direct labor, which focuses on the workers who actually manufacture the product; direct materials, those resources that are necessary to manufacture the product; and indirect costs, which represent the overhead associated with manufacturing the product, including management workers, engineers, and capital equipment. We see the same concepts and cost breakout in the Plastic Packaging tab. On the Plastic Packaging tab, we can interpret some of the results. Input costs fell much further than prices in the depths of the global economic recession of 2009, but have been well outpacing prices since then, signaling tightening margins, possibly due to supply-demand balance in favor of buyers. When we look at the demand term, this story starts to make even more sense. Demand in 2013 is expected to still be below the level that it was in 2007, before the recession started. So this looks like an industry where buyers should be able to extract a price decrease. Back in Data Insight Web, we can make any further adjustments or customizations that we want, confident in the fact that our workbook will be automatically saved and updated. The other features of Data Insight Web apply as well, including the ability to graph series. And that is how you use the Purchasing Analyzer. Please watch our other videos for information on our other tools and services. If you have any questions, please contact customer care via email at customercare@ihs.com. Thank you for watching.